Welcome to InfoScope. I'm your host, Hannah Kim. Our first story today takes us to Daejeon, where the World Science and Technology Forum 2015 took place last month. Experts gathered from all over the world in Korea, which helped highlight Korea's science and technology skills. Recently, a stamp album commemorating the forum was released. Let's take a closer look on InfoScope. 14 stamps featuring 2 different designs commemorating the World Science and Technology Forum were published. One design features the logo of the event itself, while the other design is based on a poster made by Professor Lee Gi-jin of Seogang University, the PR ambassador of the forum. If you collect stamps, you don't want to miss these special editions. New research has revealed that dinosaurs were closer to warm-blooded mammals than cold-blooded reptiles. Scientists analyzed isotopes found on fossils of dinosaur eggs and found that the titanosaur had a body temperature of around 37.8 degrees Celsius, while the Tyrannosaurus rex had a body temperature of around 32.2 degrees Celsius. These numbers are actually quite close to the human body temperature. An environmentally friendly way of capturing insects that spread pine wilt disease is turning out to be quite effective. This method is called the Pheromone Trap, and it works by luring insects with pine wilt disease toward a funnel-shaped trap with the pheromones of other insects. This method is not only environmentally friendly, but also more effective than previous means. The Russian Federal Space Agency is currently planning a mission to the moon called Luna 27. It will send a robot to the moon's south pole in 5 years to see what will be needed for humans to settle on the moon. The European Space Agency has a similar project on the way, and as a result, the two agencies are looking to work together as this will reduce financial and technical difficulties. Moon exploration is once again gaining steam. Recently, President Park Geun-hye visited NASA in the United States and expressed Korea's dedication toward space exploration and development. On the note of space exploration, other Asian countries, including China, Japan, and India, have also been making strides. And in fact, they are looking farther beyond the moon to Mars and Venus. Let's learn more about space exploration in Industry Inside.
China's unmanned lunar explorer Chang'e 3 landed on the lunar surface with the U-2 rover. In 2013, China became the third nation after the United States and Russia to achieve a moon landing. In 2013, the Mongolian became the first Asian space probe targeting Mars, entering the Martian orbit in September of 2014. The probe is currently analyzing atmosphere particles and taking pictures of the Martian surface. Japan will attempt to have its Akatsuki Venus probe enter the Venus orbit for the second time in December of this year. The probe failed to enter the orbit back in 2010 due to engine failure, and this December, Japan will use the probe's alternative engines. Korea is planning to fire a moon probe along with a lunar exploration robot in 2020. Until now, space exploration was a competition between the United States and Russia. Today, it is a field that has players from all over the world. Korea, a latecomer to the race, can no longer afford to delay working on space technology, and how it approaches its moon mission will be the key. This is Admiral Lee Sun-shin's ship, surrounded by Japanese enemies on all 4 sides. The ship's cannons are gathered together and fire, destroying enemy ships immediately. It's a very dramatic scene, but shooting from the side would not have been possible in real life. The recoil from the cannons was so strong that even the Geobukseon, or the turtle ship, would have capsized. After restoring the cannons that were used on the Geobukseon and conducting experiments, researchers found out that the turtle ship had 3 stories and 19 cannons were deployed. Of the 19, 4 large cannons were deployed at the front, meaning that primary attacks were made facing forward.
천자총통이나 지자총통 같은 경우는 화약을 30량에서 20량까지 사용을 하기 때문에 한 번 발사했을 때 그 충격량이 엄청나게 큽니다. 그래서 충격량을 받아주려면은 길이 부분으로 길은 앞부분에다가 이제 설치를 해야 되기 때문에.
Moreover, contrary to our common belief, the Geobukseon's roof was not fully armored. Armor plates were placed only above the area housing the cannons, reducing the ship's overall weight. There was a cross-shaped gap on the roof in order to observe enemy movement, but this was changed to a single straight opening as enemies managed to fire arrows through the gap. The researchers plan to recreate the Geobukseon based on the original specifics and take it to water. The Internet of Things brings inanimate objects online. And according to world-renowned economic theorist Jeremy Rifkin, the Internet of Things will bring about a new industrial revolution, as the lack of an intermediary connection between objects allows for direct information transfer and lower costs. In the future, when IT and networking technologies have further advanced, sharing and exchange more than ownership will raise the value of information and objects.
About power in the digital generation, you have a totally different idea. Or is the institutional behavior distributed, collaborative, transparent, open, and does the power scale laterally in networks?
There are predictions that in the future, the science and technology fields will be oriented toward cooperating and sharing, as new research and development can be quite costly. It will also be important for experts from different fields to collaborate.
In order to solve a biological problem, you need people from computers, you need bioinformation, you need people from imaging, from sophisticated microscopy, you need experts in animal. So it's not enough to have one person. We need to really work in teams.
Experts agree that Korea will have a major role in the future, thanks to its outstanding science, technology, and ICT resources, and advise that Korea will be able to achieve its dream of fostering a Nobel Prize winner by pursuing convergence and innovation of technologies. These are cars flying in the sky, and 3D ads catch people's attention in the streets. These are scenes from the 1989 movie Back to the Future 2, showing what 2015 would be like. The movie correctly predicted certain aspects. Protagonist Marty McFly borrows a girl's hoverboard to get away from gangsters chasing him. This floating skateboard exists in reality today. The Slide hoverboard, manufactured by Lexus, may not be able to fly into the sky, but can remain 3 centimeters above special surfaces made of conductive materials like aluminum. The glasses that the characters use to answer phone calls are similar to Google Glass. Google Glass is actually more fully featured, as it allows not only talking but also online searching. Using the TV to video chat is similar to the video calls we make today. However, there were some things that the movie didn't correctly predict. The flying cars haven't come to life in our world yet. The movie did not even predict the emergence of smartphones, arguably the most influential invention in recent times. The 2015 of our world may not correspond to the future imagined 30 years ago. However, there are many similarities. Watch this classic movie before this year ends and try to spot other similarities.
It was interesting to see how 2015 was envisioned 30 years ago, and I wonder what 2045, another 30 years from now, will be like. I'm sure there will be some startling inventions and innovations, and speaking of creativity, innovators and inventors are popping up with unique ideas at Science Makes Battle Korea 2015. Let's take a closer look on Take a Peek.
A stroller comes to a stop shortly after the person handling it lets go. The grips on the stroller have infrared sensors that automatically trigger brakes when the stroller and the handler are separated. The university students behind this idea were inspired after they saw a family having a close call. When the children couldn't stand their father's snoring, the family brainstormed together and came up with a smart pillow that would minimize sleep apnea. The pillow detects how much carbon dioxide its user emits And if it detects uneven breathing, the part holding the shoulder is raised, further opening the airway.
원래 제가 코골이가 좀 있어가지고요. 네, 딸들이 되게 불만이 많았었는데 좀 좋은 물건이 있나 이제 찾아보다가 마땅한 게 없어가지고요. 직접 이렇게 만들어보게 됐습니다.
There was also a competition where participants were given prompts to come up with original products. This event featured the outstanding creativity of Koreans, and it is expected to further galvanize the activities of these individual and group inventors. As this metal slab is blown off, it glides to the ground like a sheet of paper and also balances easily on a dandelion. This metal, developed by U.S. plane manufacturer Boeing, is 100 times lighter than styrofoam. It's made up of interconnected hollow metal tubes made of nickel, and the tubes are only 100 nanometers thick. The metal is also 99% air, making it very light, but as strong as carbon fiber, and also very flexible. For an egg to survive a 25-story drop intact, it needs anti-shock padding that is thicker than 90 centimeters. However, if this metal were to be used instead, only a small amount would be needed to ensure shock absorption. Boeing is hoping to use this metal to construct the baggage area and walkways of a plane. If the production costs can be lowered, this metal can also be used in the automobile industry. The lightest metal in the world. Doesn't it hold immense potential? When cancer spreads, more than 80% of cancer cells hit other parts of the body via lymph nodes. Subsequently, the lymph nodes are important for diagnosing the progress of cancer. Korean researchers have developed a way of viewing lymph nodes by using light. Researchers inserted a substance into mice that reacts to particular wavelengths, and when they fired light on it, its lymph nodes showed up. Different substances can be inserted to pinpoint different lymph nodes that are all part of a complex, convoluted network. Instead of excising numerous lymph nodes through surgery, this method will let doctors find the lymph nodes that are closest to the cancerous area and let them check the state of metastasis. Researchers believe that this new imaging technique will lessen the physical burden of surgery on patients and make for more effective diagnoses and treatments, adding that costs will also drop as a result. A new device capable of detecting diseases within 1 hour has been developed. According to the Korea Institute of Machinery and Materials, this device will take in blood, urine, or other samples and mix the sample with a variety of chemical reagents. Previous molecular diagnosis devices required at least 3 to 4 hours to work, but this new device automates the entire process in just 1 hour. Prices for checkups are predicted to drop to 1/10 of the cost for past checkups. As this device is fully automated, non-specialists can conduct the examination themselves, so these devices will be particularly useful in rural areas that lack medical facilities.
This device definitely has a lot of potential, especially because there has been a lot of research on early detection of Ebola, MERS, or other contagious diseases. Now this wraps up today's episode of InfoScope. Stay healthy and stay curious, and we'll see you next time with more interesting and informative news. Goodbye everyone, have a great week!